There's a massive gap here where one of the books is supposed to be. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Waverly Reads. Today's video is just going to be a quick little wrap up of the books that I read in the month of March. There was a readathon this month where I did a 24-hour readathon. It was held by Zoe with absolutely no theme. I have a vlog for that and I will leave it in the description, as well as any reviews for any of the books that I have read this month. So before we get started with the actual books that I've read, I'm going to do a few little statistical things. In March I read 10 books. 3 of them were 5 stars, 5 of them were 3 stars, 1 of them was a 4-star and 1 of them was a 2-star, and the average rating for the month was 3.6 stars. I reread 5 books and I read 5 new books as well, and the total page count that I read was 3,667 pages. So it was a pretty good reading month for me. I didn't really hate any of the books other than that 2-star, which wasn't really a hate, it was just kind of a disappointment. So I've read a total of 21 books this year so far, and 10 of them were in this past month. So I've done pretty well this month, and this is probably my best reading month of the year so far. So the first 3 books in my wrap up are the first 3 books in the Harry Potter series. I started these in my 24-hour-a-thon. So we've got Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets and The Prisoner of Azkaban. These all got a 3-star, though I think Prisoner of Azkaban got a 3.5 star in my enjoyability because I preferred it over these 2. The next book that I also read in the readathon was Beautiful Oblivion by Jamie Maguire. Kind of like a side series to Beautiful and Walking Disaster, which I love, and I love this as well, and this book got a 5-star enjoyability, and the ending I am still not over. Watch my 24-hour readathon to find out why. And in that readathon I also started Mockingjay by Susan Collins. I kind of cheated a little bit. Again, watch the 24-hour readathon vlog if you want to figure out how and why. But I started this one because I read The Hunger Games in January, I read Catching Fire in February, so it made sense to read Mockingjay in March. This also got a 5 stars. This is a reoccurring favourite of mine. The entire Hunger Games trilogy is in my all-time favourites, and I loved it a lot more this time around than I ever have before. And Haymitch, my love for Haymitch grew a lot in this book this time around. I don't know why, more so than what I have previous times. So Mockingjay by Susan Collins. The next book I read was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right because I did a whole review on this book on my channel, which will be linked in the description. This is also really hard to discuss about, so I don't really know if I can discuss it without spoiling it. I tried in the review, so if you want to know more about this book, then go ahead and check out the review. This got a 5-star out of 5 and made my all-time favourite shelf. I loved this book so much, and I'm so glad I picked it up. Thank you, Shakira, for buying it for me. Next up is Red Sparrow by Jason Matthews. Look at this cover. Just admire who is on this cover, because it's Jennifer Lawrence and she's fucking stunning. The only reason I'm keeping this book, because this is the book I gave a 2-star rating to. I feel like it's more of a 2.5 star. I just didn't really feel this book. This is definitely a book that I would prefer to watch the movie of, and I will be doing a book versus movie review after I've seen the movie. I enjoyed it kind of, but not really. Like, it was okay, it was dragging a bit. I didn't really care for many of the characters. I predicted the entire plot as well, which was very disappointing. The next book I read was Ink by Alice Broadway. This book got a 3.5 star out of 5, I think. I really liked this book. It was cute and fluffy, and well, it wasn't fluffy, it was kind of dark but kind of fluffy at the same time. I don't know, it's a very easy read. I think it's on the lower end of YA. I will be reading the sequel at some point, I just don't feel the pull to. The synopsis is a little bit misleading, but I still enjoyed it regardless. The next book I read was The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. By Stephen Chbosky. He's writing these letters to you, the reader, and it was really cute. I liked it. I would like to see the movie, but I have a thing with Emma Watson, so I'm not sure whether that's going to happen, but I liked it. It was cute. It got a 3.5 stars, I think, 3.5 stars. However, I will have to say that the main character, what's his name, Charlie, the main character Charlie didn't sound his age at all. He sounded a lot younger than what he actually is. He's portrayed to be 15, but he acts like a 12-year-old, to be fair. His mindset, he doesn't know things that 15-year-olds are supposed to know. And the last book I read this month was Marked by PC and Kristen Cast. As you can see by the bookmark, I am actually still currently reading this because we are a few days before the end of March. Before the end of March, I plan to finish this today or tomorrow, which means it will have been read, and this also like pushes me to do so. This is a reread again, and I'm giving it a 3.5 stars. I know I like this book. I've read it before. I love this book. I love the second book. I'm okay-ish with the third book and I'm just skeptical of the rest of them. I reread this one because I pulled it out of my TBR jar. Let me know if you've read any of these or what you actually did read in the month of March down below. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I post a new weekly vlog on a Monday and a new booktube video on a Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next week.